I have some very, and I mean by very, let me just fix this. Very big news. Well, this is big news I haven't talked to you about. This thing has taken a lot of my time up. I'm just going to show you really, and then I'm just going to have I have a lot to Twitter about. Like, there is a lot, okay? There's a lot to hear. There's a lot of information to take in. So don't comment you're confused, because you will be confused. There's no point commenting it because we know we're going to be confused. But anyway, I have won. Yes, I've won. I have won Chef of the Year. I've won Chef of the Year, right? I mean, I've never
Didn't tell you were going because we never thought we'd win Chef of the Year.
I didn't tell you I was going because of many reasons, but also I didn't think I was going to win. Now, right, I just finished. I won Chef of the Year, right? Winner of Rotary Young something 2026.
She's won what she can't read.
I've won what I can't read. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory to this. This is an extremely high competition. I know people might think, oh, it's Rotary, which Rotary is really good. They produce some really good
That's
stuff.
brilliant.
But a lot of people who go on to win, go on to MasterChef, they go on to like 5-star
He's
stuff.
a judge. The one that won last year is now a judge.
Yeah, the one who won last year is now a judge. I think somebody went on to Bake Off. They go on to big things, right? And I've done this for, not counting this year, I've done this for 2 years, right? My first time, I thought, I sort of didn't really know what to expect, but I didn't realise just how, like, competitive it is. They are producing Michelin star stuff. Like, the stuff they're coming out with, you would find inside a high-class restaurant. Honestly, the competition is so high, you've got to get it done. I'm going to tell you what you have to do. You've got to get it done in 2 hours. So, you've got to get a main and a dessert done in 2 hours, and you've got to get it done for 2 people. Okay, there was 3 judges this time, but usually there's 2. So you just go, and also no matter how many judges there are, that's the sort of thing you do anyway. 2 meals, okay? And there is a lot of things like you've got to have your table set out, you've got to make sure cleanliness, you've got to be tidy, bearing in mind you're stressed out your mind, but you've got to be tidy, they come around and go, make shit tidy, and I'm like, I'm stressed out of my mind, and you want me to tidy? I haven't got time to tidy, I'm tidy afterwards. But you have to keep it all kind, and you also can't have a fit or be stressed. You have to be calm, and you get questioned while you're doing it. So the judges will come around and say things to you, and you have to like answer with reasonable replies.
Gary says, congratulations, my phone's got 2% battery. Knew them mince pies would win one day. This isn't, you see, I told you, Gary, it's not mince pie gate, this competition she's done for 3 years, and it is genuine. It is, if you the best wins, honestly.
You know, I do a lot of different competitions, and I'll say, oh, that's fixed, this is fixed. But I've always said about this one's not fixed, and it is true.
Because I've now won it.
I've now won it, which proves I'm not in the wrong all the time. I mean, I'm inside not inside the wrong all the time, because of I do actually win when it's the correct things. And I'm fair. The other 2 times I lost for fair reasons. The first time I came 3rd, I was over the moon with that 3rd. I was over the moon, right? That was my first time, and the main reason why I got that 3rd was because I did well, but I made my own pasta. Now, after I made my own pasta, no word of lie, every year after that, everybody's made, like, not everybody, but a lot of people made their own pasta, and I'm like, yeah, you done that because of that. But yeah, they made their own pasta, so that was why I came so good in that one. To be fair, my pasta, I feel like it could be improved on a lot. It was quite slimy. But hey, I came 3rd, right? My second time, oh, it was a complete disaster. I had a mental breakdown. You know, you think of a mental breakdown.
We had some tears, Gary.
That was it. It was like the worst, like really bad mental breakdown. And I know a few people. I know one of the persons who works, like, she's just not the judge, but she's like part of the Rotary, and I think she was the head at the time. Anyway, she was comforting me along with my mother, and another contestant, he started comforting me, and we're basically, they were all trying to help me.
This was in the middle of a professional kitchen.
This is a college, right?
This is like about, there's probably about 15, 16 workstations, and there's people trying to get their things out until there's having a complete breakdown.
It was because my moose was set, that was why. And then my sauce burnt, and it was just like a domino effect. So, fair enough, I did not get any points for that. Well, I think...
Best performance, you did well.
Oh, yeah, I won that.
Jeff's on. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff. Hello. I want that. Well, I think I can't remember if I asked the judges afterwards, and I said to him, I said, well, I said judges, but there's two of them, but I put them together, just because it's easier to talk about. But they, I asked one of them, says, oh, I mean, it wasn't really worth me asking. I don't even think I asked him. I think he just said it. I think he just said, I think there was a bit too much chocolate there. Now, the reason why I said that was because we were piling chocolate on top, just so much chocolate because it went wrong, you see. And it was a chocolate dish, and it was supposed to be this mousse with this cake inside. It's supposed to have this chocolate glaze over the top, and then it had some like little what's those? Swans, chocolate swans. It was all, you know, with this caramel, and it was lovely. Well, the mousse didn't set, so it came into this eaten mess. There was just chocolate melted everywhere. It was just all, my caramel went wrong. Caramel can be really hard. And it was
we all thought we could fool a Michelin star chef, and we found out we were completely
And then my
wrong.
dinner, which would have gone right, but I burnt my soy sauce. Now, the soy sauce I was doing is, you know, if you don't get it inside that second, it goes, and it would just came into like a really hard toffee. So that was obviously not very good.
Hi, guys on.
Hello, guys. Welcome. So basically, those 2 times, first time was alright, and also was my first time. This second time was a disaster, but this time, I won. So I'm gonna explain I'm sorry, but this is live. We're explaining the full day.
Have you shown them your certificate?
Yeah.
Well, Guy won't have seen it, and maybe not Jeff. Look at that. Winner.
Winner. Dog dinner. So I'm gonna explain the full thing. So leading up to the competition, I was a bit stressed because it was taking up 6 hours of my day. Was this because I would have 1 hour preparing, 2 hours cooking, and then I would repeat it for tea. So I'd have dinner and tea. So I have been quiet. I've been trying my best to balance everything, as well as a lot of other things, which obviously I don't talk about because I have a personal life, you know. But yeah, yeah, that's all.
Oh, thanks, Guy. You're
Oh,
a
thank you very
superstar.
much.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're
It's
an
very
absolute
nice.
super. Guy's given a super thanks.
Yes,
Thank you very much. Obviously, it's a massive help to the channel for anybody who gives super thanks.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Jess says, a young lady of many talents, Matilda. Gary says, what was on the menu, and is there any
I'm
left
getting to
over?
that, guy. There's got to be a process of the story. There's a process.
Yeah, Gary,
haven't
we're
got
going
to
to
that.
tell you
We're
this
doing
because
a
there's a little bit of excitement in the story, Gary. He's
So-
only got 2% of charge on his phone, though. Can't you charge it? And then you can listen.
Well, I'll just talk fast. So, okay, so basically, I was preparing for this competition, and it was taking hours of my life. And honestly, I was getting pretty fed up of it because I was just like, I'm not focusing on my music. I'm not focusing on stuff I need to do, and I just felt like I was taking so much time. But the problem is, it was my last time I could do it. So I was thinking, oh, I want to win it.
I don't think we'll understand that. You haven't explained that it's only a 17.
Yeah, because I'll get too old, so I won't able to do it any longer. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do this, and I was just getting a bit annoyed. And also, it costs a lot of money to do. Not like dramatic, but it does cost a lot because of my dish example. The menu, you have to make it within £20, but when you're making that every single night and every single day, it obviously costs a lot. So I was really thinking, I thought I could have put this towards my music, I could have put it towards anything. I was thinking, I've made a mistake here, I shouldn't have done this competition. I was like really panicking. But I was getting so close to the competition, I was thinking, I'm just going to have to do it. I've got no choice, I'm just going to have to do this because I'm not going to waste all this money. Because also I had to buy things like mandolins and things like that as well. This wasn't just food, I had things to make things with. So it was getting, expensive, and I was like, oh, this is really, really bad, I shouldn't be doing this. But it came to the I'll explain what I cooked. My main was roasted duck breast with a plum sauce. What's the fancy word for mash?
Oh, plum.
The guy said it to me, but I forgot. It's like a mashed puree, but it's more fancier than that because it's basically like half mash, half butter. So it's really creamy, and you put it through a special machine and then you sieve it, so it gets so creamy, it's unbelievable. So no lumps in it whatsoever. And then I had a roasted plum, and I just presentation. I just tipped it. I can say it because I've won, so I can be a show off. And then my dessert. Now this I'll
put a picture of it on. I can't get the picture because it's on the iPad she's talking to.
I'll put a picture on the community after this live. And then my pudding. Now I thought the pudding would be more sort of like the second thought, like they'll be more bothered about the main. Anyway, to my surprise, it turns out the chef was actually more impressed. Like, the reason why I won, he made big points about it, which I'm going to get to, was my dessert. Now, what my dessert was, it was, now he said it was 8 layers. I didn't count 8 layers, but I keep recounting
I
it.
think he means. I think you got
No, because
confused
he said
on that.
layers. He said the different. I'm sure he meant.
I
that.
think he meant you did 8 different skills. I think that's what he means. But I might be wrong.
Maybe. But anyway, that's what I did. So there was a pastry. Now, pastry is obviously really hard to get right. And so I did pastry with this pistachio like cake. Then these, I think they call them roasted or something like that, cooked strawberries. Then fresh strawberries. Then this vanilla cream, with it's a special type of decoration that you only find inside like classic like places like that. Fancy restaurants. I think it begins with a T. It's a certain type of like decoration, and they're really hard to make. I wasn't aware they were that hard to make. I didn't find them that difficult, but he came up to me and he says, "Oh, you're making that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he says, "I really like them. They're really hard to make." So I was like, "I might have ticked the box." So yeah, I made that. So he was really well. I say he. There was 2 of them, but I'm just putting them both in one to make it easy to explain. And they were really impressed with that. But I think actually there was one judge who was mainly really impressed with that, because afterwards, so. Basically, my dinner went out and he went past the judges and they said, "Oh wow, that looks great." And then my mother heard them say it, and I just thought, "Oh well, he'll say that about everybody," which I think does, but you know. And then he came to announcing and he says, "Oh, we've seen loads of skills here." He explained somebody else and the fact that people have cooked bread and stuff. And then he says, "And we've had a really exciting strawberry and pistachio tart." And I was like, I've got a mention. So then they read out that you got a certificate of taking part. So I got a certificate for taking part. So everybody got one of them. And was given by the Rotary leader. So we all got one then, and then they were going to do the runner-up, and then and I got a £20 voucher as well. So then we were going to do the runner-up, and then we we're going to do the person who won. So there's another person there who was basically the person who competed me the year I was not doing too good. And I knew he was my main competition because he's been going he's been going the same amount that I've been going, and he really wants to be a chef, so I knew he's good. And so I thought he's going to be my main competition. So I already knew, he was existing, he was going to be there. And they read out the second place and it was him. So I was like, well, he's my main competition, so who else is there? And I wasn't meaning as, oh, it must be me. I was just thinking, who else is there? Who has won,
Well, yeah, but one of the other ones had done like a really fancy burger, and they'd already commented on that and said that stood out. So you obviously you obviously presumed that he was in with the running.
I just put him mainly inside my head because he was who I knew. The other people were quite new to me. I didn't know them, but I knew him. So I suppose I mainly put him in the forefront of my mind there. But I still thought, who else is there? Anyway, then they said the winner, and they said Matilda Walden, and I just had like, what? And I just had like a full breakdown, and obviously Mother cried. And I was like, what? And I won. So I went up, shaked all the judges' hands. I went down the line, and and then I shaked my fellow competitors' hands. Yes, the word. And yeah, it was a bit shocking to say that. I wouldn't say that I've been doing this for like 3 years now, and it takes you. I mean, they were explaining it, the fact of how long it takes you, because he's been doing it for 3 years and he's got through to second round. But sometimes,
but it's a bit sad for him because he can't win it again, can he now?
No, he can't. He's got another 2 years.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Is he younger than you?
Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay. That's
He's
good.
got another 2. Yeah, that's why I wasn't. Because if he was the same age, I'd be upset. But I thought, you've got another 2 years. You're all right. Like, you've got more chances. But also, he can sometimes, not necessarily, but sometimes the past 2 years they have, the second place does get to go through to the next round. Not always, it depends on the amount they have. So he might possibly get to go through to the next round, which you'll be happy with. I think he has won it,
I think he said he'd won it.
Yeah, I'm sure I heard him because I was like,
I
think he has actually won it.
Has won it.
Because he knows what happens in the next round.
Yeah, he's won it.
He told me what happens in the next round. So yeah, he has won it. He knows. Yeah, so he has won it. Sorry, he has actually won it. So yeah, he's been in my position. But yeah, he's won it before. So what happens is you win this round, then it goes through to, is it nationals?
Yeah.
Nationals, and then it's internationals.
Yeah.
Internationals is in
Carlisle's the nationals.
Internationals is in London. So I'm like, oh, I've gone down to London.
Yeah, but you got to win the Carlisle. It'd be a different league in Carlisle.
It'll be a different league because I'll be around all the people who've won all the.
Well, that's usually how it went.
Yeah, I'll be around all the first.
They don't put all the losers in there.
No. So it'll be. I will not. I'm just gonna say I will not get through to the next round. But I've done honestly, watching, I can understand your point of view. You might think, oh, well, like, it's just like a chef's competition. You do not realise how difficult it is. They just come up with such good food. I mean, he made ice cream in 2 hours. I ate it.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, it was really creamy. It was really nice. And I was like, you made that in 2 hours? And he's like, yeah. I was like, God.
Anyway, Abby's
I
on.
love ice cream. Hello, Abby.
Adrian's on.
Hello,
Lovely
Adrian.
Lamb Lunch is on. I think Van Transit was on. Yeah, Van Transit's on.
I just read show then for you all.
Gary says you will have to apply for Great British Bake Off. Love to see you on that. See you later, Abby. Nice. Thanks for joining in. But see you and hopefully see you at the weekend on her concert.
Oh yeah, we're doing a concert this week.
After the disaster.
The only thing is about Bake Off is I'd be putting myself on TV. I'm not bothered about the TV part, but it's the failing on TV. But because I don't. If I only wanted to be a chef, yeah, that'd be on my bucket list straight away. But I do want to do a lot of other things, and I am doing a lot of other things. So I just don't think. I mean, I'm struggling to get time just to do this, so I don't feel like I have the time to do it. But I think since I've got through to this next round, I feel like it's within.
Oh, you've got to do it.
And also the thing is, what you've got to remember is I'm representing my county.
And the other thing is as well,
I'm representing my county.
it wouldn't be fair because you've taken it off
Exactly.
somebody else's place getting
Exactly.
that would have loved to have won.
Exactly.
So you've got to go
And
do
the
it.
other thing is, right, so the person who won my competition last year, who fair enough, he deserved to win, he came up with brilliant food, and he deserved fully to win. He went through to Carlisle, he won there. Yeah, he won there. And then he won in London, so I've got that reputation to keep. Well, not my reputation, but the Rotary's reputation to keep.
Yeah,
because-
Rotary's done well.
Because the Rotary have got, I think his name's Max. They've got Max, who has gone through all that and won it. They want the next winner. They want 2 years in a row, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is understandable. So, you know, I've got to like sort of take one for the team, you know. It sounds weird to say it, but like, because you know you all know each other when you go, but not like in a cliquey way, but yeah.
Not like friends.
Well, no, I'm not buying a cliquey way. I mean, as you know, but yeah, so I've got to like make sure I do a bit. So I get a bit of training with the judge, which is good. He's gonna do a bit of work with me. I'm gonna and it's just I'm gonna it's gonna be difficult, but there was a lot happened in the cooking. It was quite stressful because I've obviously got to get the duck right. I also burnt myself a lot of times. There's a burnt there. I don't know if you can see it. This is my main
The
burn.
water on the taps was just unbelievable.
Oh, the water.
Because what they do is when they don't like people being about when they're judging, because obviously if it's the same bad thing, well, not said bad things, but you know, like things that aren't right, people don't want to hear it, do they? You know, everybody hears it then. So you can go to the judge, can't you, and say, how did I do? But if you don't want everybody else to hear, it's fine. So they ask everybody to leave while they're judging, and we went in the kitchen and did the washing up while we were waiting. And I turned the tap on it. I nearly took my hand off. I couldn't believe it.
I had
it
when
was
I
boiling
first
water.
used it, yeah.
And she's burnt herself. I couldn't believe
Well,
it.
I didn't just burn myself, unless I burnt myself on the oven, the turning of the duck, a lot of things. Well, the problem is with the ovens is there's 3 ovens altogether, big ovens. I think they're fan ovens. They are fan ovens, and I found for the fan ovens they can change, but I'm pretty sure they're just fan ovens. I'll put it on fan setting, and you have it as a temperature. It starts off like 180 and everybody changes it as they go along. So you have to obviously think that in mind. You're not just thinking, oh, I've got to bake this at this temperature and nobody opens the oven. You got to remember is people are opening it, leaving it open. The doors are a nightmare to shut. So majority of the time the doors stay open, which means it goes cool. And the temperature completely changed. So there was one oven next to me of 180 and then there was another oven over there which I asked to get 200 and everybody agreed. Yeah, 200, that's fine. So I was cooking in my 180 oven, and my pastry, to make sure it doesn't like get crisp burnt on the top because of so many people going in now, I put some parchment paper on the top, and we've been practicing inside our oven, which isn't a fan oven, is it?
What?
Our oven isn't a fan oven, is it?
Yes, it is. This is a chef winner. Don't even know what sort of oven we've got.
Well, the judge came out.
The only ovens that don't lose heat when you open the door is Argos
Oh, I should
and
get myself-
Ravens, those sort of ovens. I mean, they do. Well, they don't really. They don't hardly lose any. They're renowned for that.
Well,
But another one, because it's obviously a fan going around, it's going to blow it out, isn't it, when you open the door?
Well, I'll explain about another thing that I said, which was silly. But when I put my pastries in, and bear in mind pastries, I've been struggling with them like mad. Oh my god, it's been the most stressful thing ever. Is this pastry? It's just been so stressful. We've been literally practicing the pastry over and over again. This morning I went to practice the pastry over and over again. It was just so bad. So I was stressed out in mind about the pastry because there was 2 elements I had to get right: pastry and duck. They were the main things. Everything else could go wrong. They were the main things. And my sauce, I suppose. My duck and my sauce and my pastry I had to get right. And it went into the oven, put a pattern sheet on top, thought, oh, that'd be fine, you know, all good. And also you got to get the pastry to set as well. That is a nightmare too. So anyway, I left it for a second. Judge came past and I thought, oh, I need to check that. Anyway, the pastry flew off because it's a fan oven and it's not like a... So I'm like, what? So I said, Trimmer says my pastry's gone. So he said, oh, that's not good, is it? So I says, how can I fix that? Like, it's going to ruin it. They are quite... So he started pressing the buttons and he was working it out, and obviously this was a lot of time, so you know I'm not slagging him off, but he was great with me. But obviously I was thinking, oh my god, I've got to cook. I can't be chatting to you. I've got to go cook. I've got things to do. So we were working out. Anyway, we came up with a solution, which I thought of the solution and he just thought of it just after me. So we both had the same mind thing. That's how I'm a competition winner and he's a winner. I'm joking. So we decided we were going to put a tray on top of it, so then when it fans up it will stop it, and he also turned the fan down, so we managed to fix that problem. So we managed to get the pastry correct. Obviously there was a lot of opening and fingers. I'd have to keep lifting up the pastry, checking if it's cooked. There was a lot more opening of the oven as well, and then other people going in there as well, putting things in, so it was constantly getting open. So I had that problem with the oven. But then my duck had to be at 200 degrees, right? So I put it inside a pan, then I had to put it inside the oven. So I was about to put it inside the oven. I thought, hang on a minute, this is at 180. That one over there is at 200. I need my oven to be at 200. So bearing in mind that oven is the other side of the room, other side of a massive big room. So I had to take my duck over there, which is obviously meaning it's open and stuff to things. So put it inside the oven, went back and kept checking it and stuff. Anyway, I noticed on the oven, it went down to 165. So
That's quite cool, is that?
I know, so I was like, something's gone down to 165. So one of the people said, oh yeah, well if the door isn't shut properly it goes down. So I was like, oh my god. So I think I just took it to the other oven. I don't know if I'm sure I took it out, or maybe they just turned the oven. I can't actually remember what happened. I can't remember if I took it out, put it to the other oven, then they turned the other oven up and went back to it, or I took it out and they said, oh, we'll turn it up and it'll be fine, and we put it back in again. But it definitely ended inside the oven, so I can't fully remember what actually happened there. It only happened a few hours ago. So I obviously had that problem, and obviously the duck, it has to have a crispy fat on top, and it has to have a pink middle. And the amount of people that tell me that, which is fair enough because it is the truth. But obviously it's really hard because you can see the top, but you can't fully know how stretchy it is, but you can't see the middle. So I had that problem. So anyway, I had to keep checking it, and I was pressing it and bringing it out, because you're supposed to be firm when you press it. So I kept pressing it, and one was firm, one was bouncy, so I thought, oh my god. So I put it in. I thought, right, I'll go get something to take my duck out in. I took my duck out, and there was no flat plates, no plates, so I had to put it inside his bowl, but I wasn't having a proper bounce back because it was inside a bowl. I couldn't work it out. So I thought, right, I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to go try and find myself a plate. So I managed to find myself a plate, brought it out again, checked it, and the judge come past, and he goes, and I was checking it thinking, I think that's cooked, and he goes, that's cooked. I was like,
just stop.
Thank you. You're a lifesaver there, mate. I'm going to go now. And I'm going to leave that to chill.
Give it a break now, Matilda. Gary, you're an absolute superstar. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Obviously, keep us up to date with your operation, but it will be, was for me, will be hopefully a massive relief for you. But you know, take care, and obviously hope everything goes well.
Indeed.
A guy says, what's the best home baking recipe you cook and enjoy? Can't think of mine.
There's a lot of things, isn't there?
I can't think. Oh, you're very good at Black Forest Ghetto. I think Black Forest Ghetto.
Yeah, I am very good at Black Forest. Well, I tried something else. So we were getting ready for this competition, and the pastry, as I say, was going just so unbelievably bad. It was unbelievable. So this was like literally I don't know if it was last night, this morning. And we were like, we're going to have to change the dessert. So we were going to literally have to change the dessert hours before the competition. So we thought, well, what's the best at? And we thought, oh, well, we could whip out Black Forest Ghetto. The problem is, Black Forest gâteau, when it's like Michelin and stuff, and you know, restaurant stuff, everything has to be petite and delicate, which is the more heavier side. So I was like, oh well, you know, am I gonna win with that? Anyway, I'm glad I didn't take it because he probably wouldn't have got so excited over that. But yeah, that was nearly gonna be it because it was just going so bad.
Rob's on, so show me your certificate. She's just won, Rob.
I'm chef of the year.
Gary says, thank you, hope I'm out for the 12th as it's my birthday. From what happened to me, they want to get you out pretty quickly. And I had a reaction to the anaesthetic and I was really sick and even they let me go. Billy Puff took me out in a wheelchair today to get me out. But yeah, it's just a relief, Gary. I'm sure everything will go well, but they didn't want to keep me in even though I was really ill. But I'm glad I went. I'd rather be at home. Guy says, do you like puff pastry or short crust pastry? I think I like short crust pastry.
Short crust.
I'm not that keen on puff pastry.
Short crust.
Yeah, definitely short crust. There you go. The winner's quiet.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, there was a lot. Oh, I showed something else as well. So the pans. Did I tell? I think I haven't told you about the pans. I've told everybody else, but people online. I don't think I've said this tonight. And the pans, our pans are not like the best of quality because obviously, you know, you just buy to live, don't you? So we were like, I bought my pans and they do have pans there, but I thought, oh, I best use the ones I'm used to. So now I did change my pan for the sauce because I thought the sauce is, apart from at the beginning, the shallot, it was burning like mad and I didn't have my stuff measured out and I was like, oh my god. So I put my duck on the pan, okay, and you're supposed to gradually heat it up. So I'm also working with a different hob here, so obviously it's different to what I'm used to. So I, put it on a lower heat, but sort of like middle heat, and I was leaving it, I was looking at it, and I was thinking, it's not doing anything, it's just not heating up. So I put my hand over it, I wasn't feeling any heat, so I was like, well, this is ridiculous, why is it not heating up? So I keep saying about the judges, but they're the only people I spoke to, so that's why you're only going to hear them conversations, because I didn't speak to anybody else. So they, one of them came past, and I said, oh, it's not heating up, and he says, well, why don't you just, why don't, he says, well, what, I think he says, what type of pan this is. Oh, he says, oh, well, what type of pan is this? And it wasn't like he didn't know, he fully knows what pan it is. Oh, no, that's not what he said. He says, is this a something pan? So he said what type of pan it was. He says, is that something? So I says, bearing in mind I've just won, I said, I don't know. This is my own pan. So I says, I don't know what type of pan it is. So he was like, right.
I'm gonna think, how the hell did she pull it off? Because you don't know anything. She just decided to do this competition. She doesn't do it and then didn't do anything from like the last year, and then she's managed to pull it off. But you ask her, things like, I don't know, just simple things that everybody would know. No, I don't know that. I don't know what that is.
Well, it's the thing, they come round asking questions. So he said that, and I've got another one for you as well. He said, and he said, I says, well, I don't know what to do because it's just not heating up. So he says, well, you just got to go to a pan, haven't you? So this other pan, and so he said, so he put it on the heat, and it was just like checking it, and he says, right, that should be heating up. And I said, yeah, but the duck needs to go in because the duck has to go in from cold, doesn't it? So he was like, well, yeah, I guess so. So I put my duck in, and I said to him, I was poor sort of chatting here, obviously can't really give you advice, but I was just saying, oh, well, isn't the duck, the fat has to like seal itself in to cook, and I thought, well, if I've had a little bit of heat on there, there's leftover fat on that pan, isn't there? That isn't on there. So it was like, well, I don't know. Well, just know, but he didn't want to get involved because he's not allowed. He couldn't know, he didn't know, but so anyway, it started heating up, and I had to keep. You can't really leave your duck alone once it starts heating up. I check it, and then I had to sieve my potatoes, so I go a few strides sieve, then I check it. A few bits sieve, then I check it. And then I eventually put it inside the oven. And then I put my plums inside the other oven, and for some reason, I don't know what happened there, it was in there for ages and it just wasn't cooking. I was like, what is going on with this oven? So I eventually turned it up to 200, and I eventually did get my plums to cook, but it was a nightmare. And then my carrots, same pan, bearing in mind it's just managed, no, it wasn't the exact same pan, but it was like the same make and stuff. Look, cooked duck, I put my carrots in, I had these special carrot swirls, like really delicate, but you had to use a mandolin and everything. And I put it on, I put it on my pan I'm used to, my own pan. It didn't heat up, so I was like, for goodness sake, will this hobby eanything up? It's, you know, nice for a pan it's used to. So I had to get another pan, I put them in there, bearing in mind I've got, you know, like 10 minutes until I have to serve. So I thought, I put it in there, and it was starting to heat up, but it was starting to burn it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't redo a carrot. You know, I've done all this, you can't remake it, because if you have to peel it, then you have to use it with a mandolin, then you have to leave it to soak in salt, then you have to wash that, then you have to peel it a certain way, wrap it inside a certain type of string, and then, you know, there's a process, so it's not like a thing you just wrap up. So I was thinking, I can't, you know, lose this, so it burnt it a little bit on the top, but not burnt inside a bad way, inside a pleasant way. So I was like, okay, I can save this, there's still hope. So I then thought, I put it inside my usual pan, and it just was not producing any heat whatsoever. And this was also cooked in thyme as well. I mean, there's thyme means the herb. So I thought, well, I'm gonna have to put this inside the oven. So I put it inside the oven, but I was so close, I had, you know, like barely any time. So I was thinking, is this gonna cook in time? So I turned up my oven. I think it did manage to cook in time since I won, but that was a bit stressful. But then I was doing, because you have to have these sheets of your time, so you have to, before you go there, you have to write out what order you're doing everything in a certain time, so they come around checking it, and you also have to write down how much everything costs and get a certain amount. So he came round and started looking at my sheets and stuff, and he goes, oh, where's your cost sheets? And I said, oh, my mother's got them. I said that last year as well, she did, and probably the year before that, to be fair. So he's probably thinking, But yeah, she did have them, because you literally just wrote them out there.
Yeah, but they're not bothered about the cost, because I said to him, you got to do it under £18. And that's just because they pay you, no, it's 18. That's because they pay you £18. So I said to him, I said, well, it's a bit difficult to work out, because like I bought a packet of shallots, but only used one shallot. And he says, oh, just work it out roughly. It's just so that you know that if you go over that amount, you're not going to get, so you spent 25 quid, you're not going to get that back, you're only going to get £18 tops. So he says just work it out to £18. I don't know how somebody had done it. Their costs were £9. How the hell can you do a whole 2 meals for £9?
Somebody have a really fancy fish.
Yeah.
Like really
But
expensive.
I think you can go over, that's what I mean, but you're not going to get paid for it if you go over your £18. You're only going to get £18.
So yeah, anyway, he asked my spreadsheets, I said my mother. The other judge came round, because there's 2 judges, so I wasn't dealing with the same judge all the time. When I'm saying judge, I'm saying I'm dealing with 2 other people here, so they're different judges. He came round, he goes, well, she's got money sheet, bearing in mind I'm cooking at this point. So I was like, well, my mother's got it. So there was something about the fact of, like, if they didn't find it, something would have happened or something. They said something, but I was busy cooking. And then he was looking at one of them judges was looking at my sheet, saying about my order and everything, and he says, oh, about the mash, he says, oh, so what's the potato you making? And I says, well, it's like a mash puree. I said, it's got a fancy word to it, but I've forgotten what it is. And he says, I says, it's on my menu, and he said whatever the fancy word is. So I said, I think it was like something like pomme de puree, that's it, which is French, I suppose. But pomme de...
I suppose.
Pomme de puree, so he says, so I was like, that sounds like it. I mean, I'm supposed to know, but I mean, I just walk in there, weird and go. I just spend a bit of time practicing them.
Gary's joke. Just read it. I love it.
Oh.
Did you say £18? That's a lot. That's a lot. brilliant, Gary. Well done, Gary. Oh, you got to laugh, haven't you? Gary says, did the Marks and Spencer's plates get used? It was the whole lot, Gary.
Theme.
The whole theme, yeah, the whole theme.
Oh, well,
There was 1 point between. He said the chef said there was 1 point between Matilda and the runner-up. Now I think both meals were exactly the same, Gary. As in the runner-ups, particularly the sweet, was absolutely outstanding.
I had the ice cream.
They were really. It looked absolutely perfect. So I think that both of them were on the same level, and then they thought, well, you should go in with the Harvest. Whose is the best? And it's the Harvest. It was the Harvest, Gary. That's something.
Well, he got his stuff out.
He says that. Gary says, I think it clinched it. I do think it clinched it.
Well, we were plating our plates together, and he was getting his out and his table sheet out, and he wasn't ironed, and he says, "Oh, I should have ironed this."
Oh, that's so funny.
So maybe it's because mine was ironed, but basically, well, it wasn't an iron material. But anyway,
Lewis is on.
Hello. I'll tell you something else, which is probably one of the reasons why I won. I ironed my apron.
Ooh.
I did it this morning. I also ironed this jumper as well, which doesn't look like it's ironed now. But I thought, well, I'm ironing, I might as well iron. So I ironed that as well. I don't usually iron, but because of who has the time to iron one, you know.
Well, we don't have an iron. We had to buy one from the charity shop.
Yeah.
That's how much we iron. we went to ask the neighbour because we didn't want to offer us even from it. We didn't want to buy some. We're only going to use once.
It wasn't for me. I had another
thing. Well,
I
I've got one somewhere. She said, I can't remember where I put it. I said, you're obviously the same as us. So I can't be bothered anymore.
Well, I had a event on, and I had this shirt which was like one of the main parts of the outfit, and it was really creased because I washed it, and it just came out so unbelievably creased. So I just thought, well, I'm gonna have to get an iron, and I left it till the last day to get it. So I was going around everywhere trying to find iron, and I managed to get one for £4. I think it was £4. It might have been £4. But I remember I underpaid £1, so I feel like I must have had more than £3 on there. I can't remember how much the iron was, but I think it's £4. Take it on. I think I must have just paid £3 and just not had £1 on me. But anyway, I paid £4 for the iron.
Lou says Flying Scotsman is coming to Birmingham, 14th of Feb, then 18th to 21st of February, 14th and 21st at Birmingham Snow Hill, and 18th to 20th at Moore Street. Gary says, I'm always impressed how determined Matilda is, and her enthusiasm is amazing. Great to see. You're certainly determined, aren't you, love? You were going to win that competition.
Well, I started it off, and I thought about it. If I don't think, I'm a lot more better. So what I started doing was I started getting Country Roads in my head.
What's funny song? I don't even particularly like it.
That was the first one I could pick. So I was just going, oh, was it Country Roads? Yeah, it was Country Roads. I'm pretty sure it was Country Roads. No, was it Country Roads? Was it Sweet Caroline?
I don't think you were liked Country Roads too much.
It was the first song that went in my head. I had to get a song in my head to concentrate. So anyway, I started doing that. I don't know what there's a word for it, but like my emotions were going. This was at the beginning. I was like getting so panicking.
Just very emotional.
Very emotional. So I thought, I'm going to start getting a song in my head, okay? Anyway, both judges, set one after another, decided to go to me first out of all everybody. So I was like, come on! So they came round, and I was like trying to keep my calm. So talking to me, and I was thinking, Country Roads, take me home. And I was like going like this, trying to concentrate and everything. Anyway, I eventually managed to just find my call. But I just sort of I literally, it's the reason why I'm such a good cleaner, because of you back me on this.
She's a brilliant cleaner. Unbelievable.
I'm a superb cleaner. Now, it doesn't mean I keep things clean because I don't have the time, but when I do it clean, because usually what I do is, this is what I usually do in my life, I will do a full sweep out, everything cleaned, won't do it for a month. Then I'll sweep everything out clean, and then that's how it, not necessarily a month, there's not really a set time to it, it's sort of when it just gets a bit unbearable. And at the moment it is a bit unbearable because I've been doing this competition, so I'm due a really big clean. But that's how I do it. So when I do my big clean, I do it really well. And I work really fast. But how I do it is, I will set my mind down, clean something. So say if I clean this piano, then I will start cleaning, and my head will go to here. Then I'll start cleaning that wall, then my head will go to here, and I focus. I'm like, what's the tunneled?
Tunnel vision.
Yeah, like tunnel vision. I feel like that might be it. tunnel vision because I'm just like looking there, clean that, and I eventually get everywhere until I look round and there's nothing I can clean. So that's why I'm so good. I don't like look at think, oh, clean that. I think, what else should I clean? I'll clean that. I just go round the place. So it was like that.
I think that's something to do with your autism, though.
Have you found that's really rude?
No, it doesn't mean really rude. That's a fact. It's
Anyway,
not. It's a fact, isn't it? That's like saying it's like saying I really struggle spelling those words, and me saying I think that's something to do with your dyslexia, and you're going that's very rude.
It is. So when I was cooking, I my head's down. So the thing is, which is actually quite joy, I don't know what anybody else is cooking. I don't know what anybody else is doing because my head's so straight down. So when I finish, I look at everybody else and I'm like, you got that? I never noticed. So I like realise what everybody makes, but some people. Other people would look and they would be cooking and think, oh, what's she making? What's he doing? But not me. I'm like, that? Which is probably why I won.
Right, I'm going to go.
But, yeah, so I just kept my head down, which was, I mean, my mother was like a coach. She was like saying, keep your head down, do this, do that.
Gary says, I'm disappointed you didn't take a flamethrower for the creme brulee.
Well, I would have
show me that, Gary.
I was considering doing something with that, but the problem is I'd have to have bought one that wasn't so powerful because they wouldn't allow it, and I thought I can't afford just to keep buying all these things, so I had to put it down to what I could afford to do. But I did want to do something like that.
Thank you very much, Guy and Gary, for the super thanks. You superstars. I'm going to go. I don't know if she's going to carry on wittering.
I think I'll probably finish because I want to save some to talk
about.
But,
we've got a lot to talk about.
Week, on the live.
And we'll put on.
I think it's on Saturday actually.
We'll get the concert because the ukulele's back up and running.
Oh yeah, the ukulele's back up and running. Yeah, it's got
so
fixed.
it shouldn't be a disaster like last time.
Yeah, I haven't actually practiced, come to think of it, because I've been doing my competition. Literally, all my hours have been spent doing competition. Yesterday, all of today, all the days before that, it's just been competition. And now that I've gone through into the next round, it's going to be the same. So pretty much, yes, I'm not doing what I need to do, but, you know.
I think it'll be on a Saturday, Jeff, but she'll
could
work
be
it
Saturday,
out.
but it could be Sunday just because I haven't had time to practice. It depends though. I do usually like to get it on Saturday, so I will work it out. But I'll put a post out, but it just depends because I haven't actually practiced. So.
And thank you everybody, and a good night.
Yes, good night.
See you on
Thank
either.
you all for
See you at some time on the weekend.
Yes. And thank you all for watching. And this is evidence that when I say a competition is fixed, I'm not just saying it for like sake of reason. Because I've said about this competition for 2 years now when I've lost. I've said it's not fixed. And now that I've actually deserved to win.
We'll put a note up, Jeff. I'll put one on the community thing. Good night, Gary.
Good night, everybody. See you all later. Have a wonderful evening.